Hello and welcome to a Deadlock character analysis. This is 2min and I'm here in Salem Village. I thought what better way to go over the design of the characters, weapons, and lore of Vindicta than to be in Salem Village right now. I'm sure nothing bad will happen here. So without further ado, let's get into Death's Whisper.
Complete the ritual, Vindicta, and Haythorn's bloodline will be eradicated from this planet.
Alright, a good place to start is the meaning of vindicate. To be vindicated is to be cleared of blame or suspicion, to be justified and proven correct after being doubted. Vindicta says that this name is actually quite normal in our religious village, which is interesting because all the names of the people who died in Salem are online. It's pretty accessible, pretty well documented. So we know that Deadlock's lore is quite different from our lore even before the first Maelstrom, but it still draws so much parallels that we need to see our history to understand Deadlock's history better. The inhabitants of Salem Village were Puritans, English Protestants that had extreme practices and way too intense, even for the Church of England. They were very strict on what to do in their daily life, and they didn't believe in bishops or anything else. Like, it's just the Bible, and everything on it must be taken seriously. There is no room for interpretation. Like, there's a lot of weird stuff on there that I feel like needs to be taken out interpretation. To show just how weird these guys are, they believe that only certain groups of people were chosen to go to heaven, like predetermined completely, which is kind of defeats the whole purpose of being a good person, like I'd assume. I mean, if you were predetermined, do you, like, if you're bad, do you still go to heaven? Or being predetermined means you have a chance to go to heaven? I mean, everyone else just goes straight to hell. They can fuck off. Just doesn't matter if they're moral Jesus themselves. They just go to hell. Like, how do you describe that? You know, like, the Puritans probably walking around England like, oh yeah, I go to heaven. My wife goes to heaven. My kids go to heaven. You all go to hell. It's like, no wonder these people weren't liked. They sound snobby as hell. They also really believed that the devil was on Earth and actively messing with people. If anything was unexplainable or weird, they just flat out just blamed the devil. Oh, this old lady's still alive after 105 years. She's probably a witch. Oh, my crops died. I could be a bad farmer, or somebody could have cursed me. Yeah, that must be it. Well, I guess some things never change. I mean, just look at the Satanic Panic. AC/DC, or should I say Antichrist Devil Child? But of course, they were unliked and shunned. And they did what everyone did at that time. Just go to America, restart. People don't like you, just leave. I guess it was just a popular thing to do at the time. They started off at the port, but Salem grew too popular and busy, as ports tend to be. They split off and moved to make a small village. And this village was just isolated from most other places. They still had nearby villages, but they didn't really talk to each other. And oh boy, a bunch of stuck-up, super strict religious fanatics isolated deep in Massachusetts. I'm sure that's fine. The village was about 500 people, so everyone knew each other, but that didn't mean they got along. Politics and petty grievances split everyone apart as they argued of whose family would lead the church. It was a job that was passed on to one person, and basically it meant a lot to people who actually led it. As adults bickered and bickered, their kids got weird. Like, I think they just got bored, honestly. Probably both. They twitch around and claim to be controlled by a witch. And at the start there were 3 accusations, but where shit got really crazy was when Tituba, a slave, was brought up on trial. A choice that would become standard for these trials. Admit you're a witch. Admit you work for the devil. And apologize. Or die. Tituba chose to live, of course. She chose to lie. She chose to confess that she was conversing with the devil. However, she did not take this shit lying down. She chose violence. She said, yes, I'm a witch, but there are other witches in this village, and not even I know who they are. And immediately, everybody lost their shit. This led to 150 accusations thrown around, some of them out of genuine fear and hysteria, and some of them a little bit more thought out. You see, how best to gain political dominance than to just kill the opponent. Oh, so easy. And also, some people just, like I said, didn't like each other, and at the time, there was no getting over, there was no talking it out. Everyone was super like isolated and like stuck to themselves. So everyone just held grudges. So this was your best chance to get rid of that annoying neighbor who chews too loud. Some people believe they got burned at the stake, but that's actually not true. That was mostly true of Europe's witch trials, which, I mean, it makes Salem look like a walk in the park. It was brutal. But doesn't mean that Salem was good still. It was a lot more smaller, but that also meant that like when someone died, everyone knew who they were and everyone just allowed it to happen. So just confess that you're a witch and lie, and then you can live. Easy enough, right? Well, a lot of people didn't take that offer. A lot of people would rather die than to say that you worked with Satan. I mean, keep in mind, these are highly religious people. Instead of being burned at the stake, those who would not admit that they were a witch were hung in the streets, except an 81-year-old man who they put like a board on his chest, made him lay down on the floor, and just kept stacking up rocks like day by day. And like, yeah, this lasted days, which is like, why? Did they just get bored of hanging guys? Or like, I think they just hated him. Like, he was like the village grouch. And kids hated him so much that they testified and said they were possessed by like, I don't remember which one was which, but I saw some like there was kids who would mimic the defendant. Like if they turn left, the kids also turn left, and if they raise their hand, the kids would raise their hand. And then there was also some where they would like scream and twitch whenever they were like in eyesight of a defendant. Like kids were fucked back then. Like they were like, I don't like this person. I want them to die. And for some reason, a kid's testimony in trial was enough to just kill someone. Now we get to more Deadlock. Kind of. You see, Krill calls Vindicta Goody Proctor when marking her. And I found this really weird because we know her Vindicta's actual name. It's not like a hero name. Who is Goody Proctor? Well, Goody Proctor is actually Elizabeth Proctor, and she was arrested during the witch trials. But unlike Vindicta, she actually lived. She was a pregnant mother, and for that she was released. Which I guess even monsters have their own fucking morals. Like, we just killed and crushed people, but this one she can get out. And of course we know Vindicta through her voice lines with Talon and a couple other people. She died as a child. So of course Elizabeth and Vindicta are not the same person. So Mo, shut the fuck up. You're making this complicated. You're so dumb. You monkey looking. Sorry about that. I hate it. I hate this guy.
Wesley, I just wanted you to know that if I had a father like you, I don't think I would have died.
You deserved better. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I got to meet you.
With Salem laid out, it is tough to think about what Vindicta went through as a child. When she was young, she was accused of witchcraft. It must have been terrifying. No children were officially hung in the trials in our history, but 2 kids did die. There was an infant named Mercy Good, and she died in prison with her mother. And there was a 4-year-old Dorothy Good, who died after 30 weeks of being in prison. Why did they send a 4-year-old to prison? Well, because she was biting people. Like, that's just so fucked. Like, at this point, like, nobody thought, like, there's this child who just is in prison. Should we let her out? No. Like, people were so crazy that they just allowed this to slide. And there was a lot of people with hysteria, but I'm sure there was plenty of people who knew that all of this was fabricated, and they used it to their advantage to kill political opponents. But yet they still saw this like 4-year-old as like collateral. In the end, this mass hysteria led to 19 deaths within the village, and it could have been more. The Archmother does mention that 18 souls joined Vindicta in Salem, so even the number of 19 deaths is the same as our world. The Salem Trials only ended because it spread to nearby cities and villages, and one of the people that was accused was Governor Williams Phipps, whatever. His wife was accused of being a witch, and he was like, shut the fuck up. No. And he pardoned all the people in prison, which those prisoners may or may not have just been hung if this wasn't stopped. And he banned the use of spectral evidence in court. What is spectral evidence, you may ask? This is when people use visions and dreams as evidence of being possessed by witches. Oh yes. Bring your evidence forth. Hello, Judge. Yeah, I had a dream that they were with the devil. Can you slime this motherfucker? Are you sure? Yes, trust me, bro. Like that's all it took? Just like, really? That was the trials back then? Although the 4-year-old that died in our world is the closest to Vindicta, I don't think they're the same person at all. I'm pretty sure Vindicta is old enough to remember what is happening, but also much younger than other people that died during these trials. Regardless of age or lack of evidence, Judge John Hawthorne did not care. He decided her fate then and there. Perhaps it was fear that was driving him, or perhaps it was just using this movement to get rid of his political opponents. We don't know that part. Some speculation I have is Vindicta's father either looked the other way and just allowed the execution to happen, or he could have accused her himself. It's not unheard of family to be accusing each other. I mean, once again, there was 150 people accused. Husbands, wives, siblings, they all turned on each other. This unjust death tormented Vindicta, her entire village. She knew each and every face, and they still turned on her. Her family, her neighbors. She knew she was innocent. She wanted to be vindicated, but instead her entire village watched her suffer and die a slow, agonizing death. Instead of moving on, Vindicta lingered on Earth for 200 years until the first maelstrom, where she was brought back to life.
I was a child when they unjustly condemned me, powerless in every sense of the word. But now, in death, I've become all that they feared and more.
For 50 years, she adapted to this new world, a woman out of time. People walked different, people spoke different. It would be a shock for anyone to go through, but especially a girl that was in a small religious village. It's unclear whether she was brought back as an adult, the way we see her now, or if she came back as her original age but grew older, but that would mean she would have just stopped aging at some point. I don't know, it's up to interpretation. During this 50-year period, she was lost. She was trying to adjust, and she doesn't even know why she came back to life. She had nothing left. Even if her home and family were still there, why would she come back? She was raised so strictly, she never had the opportunity to figure out what she wanted. She was to tend to the house and have kids. Everything was completely different. However, this moment of being lost ended when she saw John Hawthorne. But no, that doesn't make sense. It's been 200 years. He can't be alive. It's his grandson, John Hawthorne Jr. Is it Junior Jr.? Was the dad named John Hawthorne, or did they just skip it and then just call? It doesn't matter. Not only did they look alike, they also acted the same way. The descendant of a judge is a political figure. Go figure. This only meant that he was more powerful. Instead of a village of hysteric monsters, he led an extremist geopolitical group. They claim that Earth is for humans and humans alone. Currently, their big topic is for the US government to stop funding South Ixtia, which is their 52nd state. Yes, 52nd state. Don't worry about it. South Ixtia is a place of constant warfare. To deny the 52nd state of America any aid is crazy. Sadly, this extremist group is being treated like a legit political power. The government humors these bad people, but people like Talon know they are evil. His family was killed by Friends of Humanity and covered up as a fiery accident. Perhaps this cover-up shows their ties with the police. Vindicta realized this is different. There is no judge, no trial, only executioners. 200 years and some things never change. There was a stain in this world and it flowed through their bloodline. Vindicta knows that Salem Witch Trials can never happen again. She knows that fear can be manipulated, and she knew it always led to scapegoats. Vindicta has found her purpose. This is much bigger than her, right? She has to do this. As long as the job got done, that's good enough. Whenever she talks to people like Drifter or Seven, she always likes to talk about herself as not crazy. They're crazy. They like killing for the sake of killing. Vindicta doesn't. It is her job, right? It is her purpose, surely. It doesn't matter if it's fair, they have to die. Using her ghost powers to the fullest, she prefers to keep a distance. Her ghostly flight makes getting clear shots really easy. It also makes getting away easy as well. A sniper must lay in wait and prepare for the shot, but Vindicta can just go building to building to get the best shot possible. She uses her stakes to keep them in place as ropes tie them down, making for the easiest shot. She will use the very same methods that were used on her during the trials and watch them become helpless. Stakes have been associated with binding and purification. Only her purification is eradication. Whatever is left of the body is cleaned up by the crows that she commands. She isn't risking anything. No blood shall be left behind. The stakes and crows shows she has a connection with nature. Crows themselves have represented life and death throughout the world through many religions and myths. Here she uses their obedience as a dark omen. They follow Vindicta and the path of bodies she leaves behind, waiting for their next meal, watching you. In the real world now, crows have domesticated wolves in a way where it benefits both of them. Crows will fly above prey to signal wolves that there is food. The wolves will come in, kill the target, eat their meal, and the crows will have what's left. Perhaps Vindicta has a similar symbiosis with these crows. They signal the target, they mark it, and Vindicta clears them. Her sniper, the Wallflower's Revenge, is an extension of who she is. Again, Wallflower, another tie to nature. Wallflower meaning someone shy and preferably keeps their distance from people. Vindicta isn't a social butterfly like Ivy.
What's on your mind?
Murder.
That sounds rather, intense. I think I'll let you be.
The model represents the first sniper in the 1830s. At the time, they were called telescopic sighted rifles, and they didn't really pick up any relevance till later. The Wallflower is more unique though. It has an automatic and a sniper mode, which can be used in any scenario. So now, what's the deal with her character design? Well, there's a lot to talk about because Deadlock is really good with using colors. Red could be high passion or anger, which, I mean, come on, that just makes sense with Vindicta. The long white hair also could be another detail to make her look older because she has been around for a while. And the braided hair just shows that she still cares how she looks and how she represents herself out there. It's very well braided, and she even got a little cute bow at the back. However, at the same time, another clash, she doesn't care how cute she looks. I mean, she has stakes all over her belt, ready to kill people. She has these giant stakes on the side that tie people down, and the side, probably for bullets. The bell rings whenever she flies, which is mostly probably a game feature to just let people know when she's flying. But also, it's a nice tie to how life was as a villager. She probably worked on a farm. And once again, the dress is really nice, but it might just be her only dress because it's very worn and torn. And I don't think a ghost has much use for a whole wardrobe. And the detail that gives the most credit to that idea is the fact that she's barefooted. I mean, 5 different characters point that out. They find it weird. I mean, of course, she's walking around New York. The social norms that everyone else has just doesn't really apply to her. And I was looking into it, and a good amount of people back then in her time period didn't have shoes. And if they did, it was just like one good pair of shoes, most likely just for church or other formal events. A little fun fact I found while going through the wiki is Vindicta is believed to hum a real life song. Simple Gifts is a song composed by Joseph Brackett. It was a 19th century song that started off as a dancing song but ended up with different meaning. It focuses on the ideals of simplicity and humanity, which is perfect for Vindicta. Her life was so complicated in this new world, nothing made sense. And now her life is much simpler. When she's killing, life just makes sense. It's a joyful worship. Simplifying one's life is a divine blessing. Once you rid yourself of material burdens, you become free. Another reason for her not having shoes, perhaps. The song was also made for the Shaker community, which was declining at the time because they couldn't really get more members. They believed in gender equality and putting hands to work. They were agricultural communities that tended to take care of their own just fine without any help. Again, another nature tie to Vindicta. It just makes so much sense after her being suppressed in her home. God, this character is so good. Now, back to murder.
I'm not a witch. Witches are people. They have wants and dreams. All I have is revenge, and the undying will to see it through.
John Hawthorne's brother was out on a ski boat minding his own business when suddenly a loud shot fired. In a moment, he was killed, left to sink at the bottom of the lake. Word spread quick and paranoia grew. Who did it and why? Then again, another body fell, but this time everyone saw it. During a marathon, Vindicta claimed another life. This kill changed everything. People knew she was targeting Hawthorne's. People found out who Death's Whisper was, and they feared her. In between these two killings, a lot of people died from the frenzy of humanity, enough to make news headlines. And then another shot rang out. However, Vindicta did not realize John Hawthorne was ready. He managed to escape alive, and this only meant that the security would increase. This terrified the public. At any moment, Vindicta could kill someone in the streets. She didn't care who saw. She didn't care how many bystanders could be hurt. In the end, they needed to die. Vindicta will take any opportunity she can get. This leads us to the ritual where she's become a controversial figure. Other characters often agree that Hawthorne must be taken down, but they don't agree with how she does it. The marathon and other public shootings won't be forgotten. Vindicta has become death. She has no morality and no future. She is a force of nature that doesn't stop for anything. Unlike actual death, she can die. She can be taken out, she can be exorcised, but the risks don't matter to someone who's lost it all. She even tells Drifter that after she's done with Hawthorne bloodline, she could keep going with others. When she's talking to Dynamo, he admits that Hawthorne will be speaking at Columbia University, which even during the ritual she's planning her next attack, she deadass hit him with the "don't go to school tomorrow." It's no wonder the OSIC has labeled her a state terrorist. Unfortunately, Death's Whisper can't be unheard. So you may run, and you may even die a natural death, but time comes for those left behind with tainted blood. Thank you for watching. I have wanted to do these type of videos for a long time, and I'm thinking about other characters. I've been wanting to do analysis videos like this for a while, but I can't really decide what to talk about. But Deadlock is so addicting, and the characters are so great that I just had to talk about it. This is just a good excuse for me to obsess over the characters even more, because like the stuff like with Vindicta's music and how it ties to the Shakers, like I had no idea about that stuff, and it's so cool to learn about it. As for future videos, so for right now I'm thinking about Victor and Ivy. Those are the two people I'm thinking about now, but if you guys are curious about that, show some love, put some likes, and if I missed anything about the Salem Witch Trials or Vindicta, either one, didn't really know about it, or two, it was just too much for the video and I didn't really find it important. But hey, leave it in the comments. Maybe some people will find that stuff interesting. I know I'll be looking at more information about this.